I prayed a lot about whether or not I was going to release this video because part of me wanted to just forget about it, let it go, and walk away. But in recent couple weeks, I've been tagged and commented about this situation, about Takumi. And when I initially posted about my experience with Takumi on TikTok a few months ago, I told myself I knew that I was supposed to share what was going on. And I knew that I wanted to share in its completion. And when I had a call with the CEO back in November, I thought that was going to be the complete story of the situation, but it was not. So I am sharing this because I feel it is important in the ecosystem of people creating content for a living. And sorry, I'm trying to get situated. It's important to be real and honest about what happens in this industry because I have always been an advocate for creators. It would be crazy for me not to be as a creator myself, but also somebody who has been doing this for almost 15 years, or I don't even know how long at this point. I got started on YouTube in 2010. So for me, I've been professionally working as a content creator full-time since 2016. And I have had an incredible experiences. I have been able to do so much in my career as a creator. But this was one of the situations that has happened to me that I can't not share because it is the reality. It is something that brands should be aware of, that agencies should be aware of, and that creators should be aware of as this space continues to expand and become billions and billions of dollars bigger. Because people getting paid late has become more of a norm in this time versus 5 years ago. I've experienced it across the board. It's not just one brand or one agency. There are big agencies, big brands that are having things slip through the cracks that eventually end up hurting us as creators the most. And I just want us as a collective who are all part of this industry, no matter what part you play, to be aware and to be considerate of one another in the situations and contracts and campaigns that we operate in. So I'm going to share with you a call that I had with the CEO at Takumi, some of my thoughts about that call, and just as not a fear tactic, but as this is what it really can look like behind closed doors. And it's not something to scare you or make you feel like you don't want to be a creator anymore, but it is a reason why having a lawyer at hand, having representation that understands how to advocate for you as well, that is on your side, is incredibly important. So I hope you get something out of this and keep on watching.
So if you see me with coffee and no makeup, that's why. Here's Jade.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. It's so early in the morning for you guys. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. We're used to the time difference. No worries. It's important to have this conversation, and I appreciate that you responded to Jade, of course. I know it's been a long time coming. We've been obviously on our side trying to chase everything down and for you.
I really wanted to do this call because I wanted to be very open and transparent with you all and explain what's happened, because it's completely, from the outside looking in, it's completely unfair. From the inside looking out, it's completely unfair. So there's no argument here.
Yes.
There's no debate. And as a father of young children, I know exactly what you mean and sympathize. So look, the good news is obviously you're going to get paid. There's no, oh, I'm sorry to confirm that you're not going to get paid, because first of all, that's completely not the situation. The reason that led to us being in this quite horrible position is that we had 3 very large brands in the US that were on a retainer with us. And we'd signed off on very large partnerships with them. Unfortunately, they had quite serious legal issues on their side and prevented payment to us. So to be very clear, obviously you're our client in the sense that we work with you to make content for our brand clients or agency clients. Mm-hmm. And the brand agency clients were unable to pay us in time. That launched quite a large litigation in the summer, which was extremely expensive, and completed literally yesterday. To be very, very clear on timelines, obviously we were in the right. Our creators are like us, are owed money. So that was settled out of court yesterday. And the good news is we, in the meantime, not knowing obviously how that would go and how quickly it would be resolved, went out onto an emergency fundraise for the business to have that backup if we needed it. And so that was a large refinancing for the business, so a new bank lender, basically, Tom in the UK. And that's led us to sign off agreement with them to have that by next week. So we've got two things happening positively. The litigation is now completed. The 3 brands I've mentioned will pay us next week. Well, hopefully today, but obviously won't hit our account until next week. And the refinancing bank lending will also hit our bank by probably Thursday next week. So the good news I wanted to convey and why I wanted to jump on personally on the call is to let Jade know, and her partners on this call, that by Thursday next week, you will definitely have been paid either by the litigation sorted or by the refinance hitting our bank. So we can draw a line and say definitely Thursday, but I'd like that to happen hopefully between now and Thursday, so slightly earlier. They're the facts, and then obviously from this point we can discuss how annoying it's been, how frustrating it's been, and I'm very, very sorry.
So, to be clear,
Yeah.
essentially the funds that were paid out to me, because one of the brands confirmed that they did pay you all in time and in full for my service. So you're saying that you all essentially had to dump all of your cash into this litigation.
A large piece of it, yes. We've had to let members of staff leave as well in the business to ensure that we could meet the ends of every month. So it's been a very tough time. But luckily, that's now been recouped and we go again. And most importantly, our creators that are missing payment get paid.
At any point, was there a conversation or discussion about letting any of us know that we were the ones being sacrificed for this like situation that has nothing to do with us as creators? Or even I could see if it was just the creators involved with these 3 big brands that didn't pay out or whatever that case may be. I was not part of that. So how many other people could be in my position where we have no control over this? We did our part, and gave grace and waited, and not even having been communicated with for all of these months is, are you all are essentially trying to get back into the business. So now, what goes to say that you're not going to turn around and still do? To me, that's predatory. To me, that's manipulative, because it's like you took my money and used it for your whatever you needed to do without communicating with me, without like even kind of giving us an idea of like what is actually going on. So for me, that feels incredibly irresponsible, inappropriate, illegal to a certain extent, because how do you do that? You've breached multiple contracts just with me, because it wasn't just these 2 invoices. There was another invoice that was 4, 5, 6 months late, I believe. I can't remember, Monica, you'll have to remind me. So that's unacceptable. And so, yes, I am angry. You say you have little kids. I have little kids. I have a mortgage. This is how I feed my family. You've been literally taking food out of my children's mouths for months. So I get it. Great that y'all figured it out. But this like, should you even be in business at this point? Because this may not be the lane that y'all are prepared to operate in. Because you're playing with people's livelihoods, and to not even communicate via email behind closed doors to make it go to this extent. I didn't want to call y'all out on TikTok. I have been in this for over a decade. I've been working with brands since 2013. I've never been in this position. I've never been done like this. And I've worked with everybody. I've worked with the top brands in the world. You're not playing with a small creator here. So I just want you to like understand that this cannot happen again to anyone. And I don't even have full confidence that you're in a position to continue in any sort of way. I know you got refinancing and stuff like that, but that's where I'm at as a creator. You're operating in a situation where you're trying to service people like me. What would make me change my mind or tell somebody to go work with Takumi ever?
Well, right now, I can absolutely agree that you wouldn't be in that position or tone to want to do that. And I have to be honest with you, in the 8 years that Takumi's operated, this has never happened. We've never not been paid by our clients and therefore been in a position that we had to do an emergency refinance. The unfortunate reality is it took 6 months longer than it should have done to be resolved. And the second thing that's unfortunate is that on a personal level, the finance team, the account managers, the people involved with you personally, Jade, did not communicate. They literally did not communicate, and it's completely unacceptable. I cannot tell you more apologies. I will continue to apologize and put this right, and compensatory measures need to be discussed because the finance sorts everything out in terms of any debts and any outgoing costs. That's great, but more importantly, this just can never happen again. We can never be in a position as a business where our creators are in a position in their livelihoods that are affected because our clients haven't paid us and we haven't paid you. That just cannot happen again. I've spent my entire summer, autumn refinancing the company to never be in that very nervous position. And so on a personal level, of course, you would not recommend us right now, but I intend to turn that around. And I will, if it's okay with you and the team, put forward you to our brands at all sizes, from the Coty's and the Revlons and the L'Oreal's and the big ones to anyone that's coming through our pipeline. I want to make sure that I start with baby steps to put this right for you. So I'm going to put, I'm going to make sure I'm on every single email because we've now spoken. You now know you have the CEO's ear to this. Make sure that it's not just a broken promise, it actually gets through to fruition. There is, you have my full attention.
Okay. Thank you so much and have a nice rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it was quick. So that's that. That's it. Like I said in the video, I have still not been paid out my second invoice of $8,000. I have released that. I'm not chasing after it. I'm not emailing them anymore. I have already let that go. God has already exceeded that so much in so many different ways in my life. But there are so many people out there still chasing after Takumi for their money. So Takumi, the people that work at Takumi, the brands that have worked at Takumi, I know some who have actually paid out their creators individually and have taken the loss themselves. And so this is so disheartening because creators like me feel like we can't speak up, like we can't say anything because it'll look bad on us. Other brands may not want to work with us because we're outspoken about payouts and all this kind of stuff. But there has to be some sort of regulation in the sense that if we're done wrong, it's okay for us to say the truth. Am I taking Takumi to court? While I could, I'm not, because I'm not going to waste another piece of my mind, energy, finances, anything on trying to pursue something that I believe is a wash. Because as of the last time I looked at the app, maybe a month ago, and I've seen some comments recently, it's not even functioning anymore. Like, the app doesn't work in the US. I don't think it works in the UK anymore. So it's like he talked about them getting refinanced by a bank, and like all these things were supposed to happen, and there was supposed to be more communication and all these things. And I literally never heard back again. Like, multiple emails my team sent out. Then even when one of the two invoices got paid, it was very weird the way it got sent. Like, it wasn't through proper channels. There was no, hey, this is coming today, blah, blah, blah. Like, it just, the money just showed up in my agency's like accounts, and they didn't even know what it was. Like, we all kind of paused and said, like, wait, like, who is this name with this amount of money that's correct, but it like didn't have, like, it wasn't attached to an invoice, and it wasn't, so it was just like odd and weird. And so, we're not playing with pennies here. Like, these are people's livelihoods, and it's just something that needs to be addressed. However that looks like in the world, part of the industry that you're in, whether you're a brand, whether you're a creator, whether you're an agency, because more and more oftentimes than not today, creators like me, we work through agencies, whether that be a management agency or simply an ad agency that is running the campaigns that we're doing this work for. And so there's a lot of people with their hands in the bucket of what we do. And essentially, if you are somebody who's simply a viewer, okay, who is simply part of the economy of people that just watch content from people like me, like, this is not to not take into account, like, you're part of this. Like, we only get to even have these experiences because of you, because you find what we create to be helpful, to be entertaining, whatever it may be. So it's just disheartening, like I said, because I would guess that most creators do this because they love it. I love this. I love being able to take things that I've learned, take things that I've experienced, and translate them into content and then share them with you. That's why we do what we do. And doing brand deals and creating content with AdSense or whatever is the way that we are able to continue doing what we love to do. And to be able to live a life where you do what you love to do and you get paid for it, like, that's an incredibly blessed position to be in, but not one that is easy to come by. So the ones of us that can do this and support our families with it and feed ourselves with it, we're incredibly blessed to be in the position that we're in. And so I say all of this with that being my heart being that I just want people to know the truth of the matter, the truth of, yes, we get to do these great trips and we get to be able to, like, buy nice things because we can make a good amount of money and all this kind of stuff. But the other side of these things is that you can have predators in this industry who, at the end of the day, will do whatever fits what their needs are first, with no regard for how or what position that puts you in as a person, as a creator. And I just hope that moving forward, there's just a little bit more, at minimum, awareness that as creators, we are in vulnerable positions like this at times. And it's gonna happen. The longer you do this, the more of a likelihood that something like this is gonna happen to you. But take heart, because if you're a good person and you do your best and you try to always walk and operate with integrity, you will be taken care of. And it may not be in the situation. You may lose money. You may be in a situation where you feel like you're being taken advantage of. I've been there. But I'm telling you, if you continue to pursue on, take the higher road, let it go. Sometimes it's money is just money. It comes and it goes, whatever. But it's about having integrity and being honest about the realities of, like, the life that you're living and what you're experiencing. And so hopefully, as you watch this and talk about and share about this situation, that it's something that you can learn from and gain wisdom from without personally having to walk through it. And if you are one of the people, one of the creators that have been affected by this, have not been paid out by Takumi, I feel for you. I am so sorry that they have taken advantage of you in this way. And I really hope that you are able to recoup what you've been owed in some sort of way. But my heart goes out to you. And if you continue to pursue, but it's also okay to just let it go, because who knows where the money is, and you could be chasing money for a long time. But that's just me. I serve a big God that is taking care of me and my loved ones. So even though we've been in places where it was looking a little sketch, looking a little scary, we are good. We are okay, because God has kept us this entire time. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.